What's up guys, it's Josh back with another video, and today I wanted to show you guys how to set up a Minecraft server on Ubuntu 22.04. So, as I stated in the intro of the video, I want to show you guys how to set up a Minecraft server in Ubuntu 22.04, the server edition. Now, I've done this video like a couple times. I've done it for, I think, version 18 or Ubuntu 18.04. I also did it for 20.04, and I always get a lot of comments on this video because a lot of people are interested in setting up these types of servers, game servers, you know, to either set up for themselves or for their friends, you know what I'm saying, or their kids or something like that. And that's what originally made me want to make this video. I originally got asked by my son. He was like, hey, I always wanted a Minecraft server. I got the Minecraft game, but I want a Minecraft server so I could save, you know, all my stuff on my own server, and I can modify it if I need to, you know, all that good stuff. And I've had a server around here for my son for a number of years. I believe that server is on 20.04. I think I upgraded it from like 18.04 to 20.04. I always stick with the long-term releases. But yeah, he's been using that. He's got, like, you know, worlds and all that stuff that he's built on that server, and so I've always had to kind of maintain it and everything. And so that's another reason why I just said, well, let me just make videos on it, you know, showing you guys how to set this up on a Linux server. And pretty much any Debian based, the way I'm going to show you in this video is the way you should do it on Debian based systems. Now others may be a little different, like Oryx based. You may have to install, the package name may be different, you know, or maybe in the AUR like on Oryx or something like that to get like Java installed. I'm not 100% sure. I never tried it on Oryx, but I've only, you know, did it on Debian, so I've always shown Debian. But let's go on and just hop over and I'll walk you guys through it. It's not that difficult to actually do. And of course, I've said this in a couple other videos, I'm a little behind on my website with a lot of the articles that I like to put together. So I'm definitely gonna get this one up as well pretty soon. I'm working on all of them, trying to get caught up on it. And so all the commands will be on my website, because you guys know YouTube doesn't like the commands, you know, when you write them in the description of the video, like certain characters it won't allow you to put there, and I don't want to put the wrong command there or say, hey, replace this with this, and you guys get totally confused. So I want to give you guys the proper commands that I run directly from my website. That's an easy way to get it. So the first thing I want to do is go over to Minecraft's website so I can show you guys how to get the Minecraft server file and download it to your server. So let's get started. Before we move forward, I wanted to give a quick shout out to CIQ, the official partner of Rocky Linux. Rocky Linux is a Linux distribution that is intended to be a downstream complete binary compatible release using the Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system source code. The project is led by Gregory Kurtzer, who was the founder of the CentOS project. So check out Rocky Linux at ciq.co. Alright, cool. So I'm at minecraft.net. This is where you actually get the Minecraft server files in order to set up a game server. So all we have to do is click under game, hit Minecraft, and then this will take you to the main site. All you have to do is click on server. And it's kind of a little complicated to find it. You don't just see like a link to, hey, this is where you download the Minecraft server. You got to kind of look through this. So I'm gonna scroll down and I want to show you guys where it is. If you go down to the third little iteration where it says safe and welcoming servers, keep players of all ages, if you go there to the bottom, there is a link. It says to learn more about server and online safety, then, you know, visit our server frequently asked questions. Now it may be another way to get to it, but this is the way I've always went to it to find it. But if you click there, right here at the top of this article, this frequently asked questions article, there is a link to the server download page, Minecraft Java Edition server. I don't know if there's another way to get to this. Maybe you guys know. If you guys know, leave it in the comments. But this is the only way I can find it, and I just keep using this way to get it. But just hit download, you know, the Minecraft server. That'll take you to this page right here, which walks through, you know, basically how to set it up. It's a small you know, little tutorial. You can actually go to the wiki and they have a full tutorial over there, but this is essentially where you'll get the latest version of a Minecraft server. So Minecraft server 1.19.3 Jor. So you want to go down and download this, and what I do is I just copy it. I copy the link address, and then I like store it in a text file, and that way I can go to it when I run my commands on the server, and I could just download it directly from the server instead of downloading it on your computer. And then you get on a Ubuntu server, and you can't just go to websites on the server, you know what I'm saying, unless you use a text-based browser or something like that. But still, the easiest way to get something on the server is to use wget, download it to the server, to the directory that you want to download it to, also change the name of it and all that stuff. And since it's a server, that's the way we're going to do it. Now let's go on and go over to the server so I can walk you guys through setting up the Minecraft server. Okay, cool. So I'm logged into my Ubuntu server. It's a virtual machine. It has Ubuntu 22.04, and I can kind of scroll up and show you guys. But yeah, welcome to Ubuntu 22.04. That lets you know that's what you got. And then also, I believe this is a super small, you know, virtual machine. I think it has about a 30 gigabyte hard drive, as well as like couple gigs of memory. I'm not 100% sure. Let me go down and run the htop command so we can see what's on here. Yeah, 8 gigabytes of memory, 2 cores, and no swap. I don't need it. But anyway, simple virtual machine that I'm running this on. And so the first thing you want to do in order to get Minecraft installed is to update the system, because we have to install some prerequisites before this. Like for instance, Java has to be installed. So let's do the updates first. So sudo apt updates, and then also let's run these sudo apt upgrade. And I always run these in tandem. It all depends really what I'm thinking about when I run these commands, but majority of the time I run them in tandem. And what I mean by in tandem is using the ampersand. And essentially what that does is it'll run this command, the first command first, and if it runs successfully, it'll attempt to run the next command after that. And so if there are any updates, it'll run the update command. So update will refresh the repositories, check for updates, and then upgrade will actually upgrade the system, or upgrade the packages that have updates. But if there are no updates, then it'll just kind of skip it or whatever. So let's go on and type in our sudo password so we can get past this. It'll check those repositories. Like I said, there are no new updates, so we're good to go. As you can see, it says 0 upgraded, 0 newly installed, you know, 0 to remove, or 0 not upgraded. So we're good to go. It's fully updated on the system, or the system is fully updated. Now the next thing we want to do is install Java, and what I'm gonna do is install the latest version of Java, and I'll show you guys how to kind of find the package. But sudo apt install, and then I know the package name is OpenJDK, but I'm gonna hit tab after this. And also I know we're gonna do 19, but let me hit tab so you can see all the options that you have. So all I did was hit tab twice, and that's basically the bash completion. So it sees what I already typed, and it's showing me every package that's close to that. It kind of queries the packages that are out there based on that name that we typed in so far. That's the bash completion. But anyway, what we're looking for is the 19 Jor headless, or JRE headless. That's what we're going to install, and it's right here. So this is the one we want to install, and I'm gonna put this in the notes or whatever of the one we want to install on, or the one you want to install on your system. And then dash JRE, and then dash headless, and we can tab that out, and that'll finish it out. And then also you want to check to see if you got wget, which most likely you have wget. I think that's a default package, so we're gonna put two packages in one, you know, one command. So it'll install Java 19 and it'll install wget as well. And then there's another package I want you guys to install, which is called screen. So we're going to install that Java package, wget and screen. So let's press enter. It'll go through, find those packages. You'll probably skip wget because I believe that's a default package, but screen is not for sure. But we'll see what it all installs close to the end of it. It's downloading all the dependencies for each one of those packages, and then it'll go through and install those packages for us. And so I'll be back when it finishes. Sometimes this take a little couple minutes or so, but I don't want you guys waiting for this. Okay, cool. So we got all our packages installed. For some reason it errored out, but just what I did was run the command again. It said it needed restart. It's been skipped since the package has failed. It failed somewhere in here. It says a code 1, but I ran the install command again, the apt installer command again. It ran successfully. It didn't have any errors, and it already installed everything for us. So screen is already at the newest version, wget is already at the newest version, and then Java is at the right version as well. So we good to go. I think this has something to do with certs, but it corrected a lot of these certs right here. That's why I wanted to show you this. So if you see this issue, just run the command again. It'll go through and add those certs for us, and then, you know, fix the issues or whatever when it actually fails during that install. Now that we got it installed, let's go on and check the version of Java we have, and this is a way of verifying that Java is installed properly on the system. So all you gotta do is type sudo then Java, and you don't really have to, I don't think you have to write sudo, I can't remember, but let's run it anyway with sudo. So anyway, so we have Java 19.01, and this package was last updated October 2022. So it's the latest stable version of Java running on our system. Now let's go down and get Minecraft installed on the system. So all we have to do is create a directory right fast. So you can create it in your home directory, that's fine. So make directory, and what I'm gonna name it is Minecraft. I typically, you know, kind of name it like a naming convention. I'll do Minecraft, and then if I'm gonna have like multiple servers running on the same server, then I'll name it based on the version. But since I'm not, I'm gonna just, you know, do it that way, or just create one folder and put that one file in there. So make directory Minecraft, and then let's cd to this directory right fast. So boom, and as you can see, nothing is there right now. So we have our, you know, fresh directory, and now let's go down and wget. And like I was saying earlier, you want to go back to the site at this point and right click, and let me make sure you guys can see that, and right click, and then just hit copy link. And you guys can't see that, but just right click on it, hit copy link, you know, the normal menu, and that'll copy the link to that actual jar file. And then what we want to do is go back to our terminal and type the wget command, and then also we want to name this file something different. So there is an option with wget -o, capital O, and then we can name the file whatever we want the file to be. And what I want to name it is Minecraft underscore server, and then .1.19.3.jar. That's what I want to name the file, because as you can see when I paste it in here, I'm gonna put a space here, but this is where you drop the link. So let's go on and paste that in there. That's the link, but the actual jar file, whenever they, you know, put the most recent version up there on their repository, they just name it server.jar. It doesn't really distinguish it. That's just the latest version. You don't have access to the older versions. You just have to download that version, you know, and it's server.jar. And so I always like to name it based on the version that I'm using. You know what I'm saying? So I'll do the output of the downloaded file to that name that we put in there, the Minecraft underscore server, and then the version name of the server. So let's go down and press enter. Boom, you'll see a download, and then if we ls our Minecraft server directory, then we'll see that jar file there. So we're good to go. Now before we kind of activate the server, we have to do a little bit more cleanup, and one of the things I like to do is open up the default port for Minecraft. The default port, which you can adjust it, you can make the port whatever you want it, but the default port is 25.56.5. And I know that because I use the default port on current servers that I have set up. So you want to open up that port in the firewall. Right now I'm sure the firewall is turned off, so what I'm gonna do is check the status of the firewall, and all I have to do is type sudo UFW, because that's what I'm gonna use, UFW, uncomplicated firewall. I have videos showing you guys how to set up uncomplicated firewall on your Ubuntu server, and it hasn't changed since, you know, I've made the original video, so they all work the same. UFW, the commands are the same. And let's type status, and it's probably not going to say anything because it's inactive. Yeah, that's right, it's inactive. So what we want to do is first go down and open up our ports, and one of the ports we need to open up, since I'm connected to the server via SSH, is the SSH server. So there are some services on here, and they're by a service name. So open SSH is one of them. So let's go allow, and then open SSH. Boom, and that'll add that rule. So we added open SSH, and then also let's do the exact same thing for that default port for Minecraft, and that's 25565, and press enter. That'll open that port for Minecraft as well. So we're good to go with that. Now let's go on and activate UFW. So let's just type sudo UFW enable, and this will enable the firewall. And as you can see, it'll pop up with a warning. This is basically a warning, and that's only because I'm connected to this server via SSH, basically saying you could lose connection to this server, being that you're connected over SSH, if that port is not open. That's why it's important to open that port. So let's go on and type Y, enter, firewall is enabled, it's active and enabled. So now let's check that status again. I'm trying to get through this kind of quick so you guys can see, but you'll see that those ports are open. So I open up SSH, and then we open up our Minecraft server. So now we're still in this directory, and let me clear the screen. We're still in the Minecraft directory, so let's ls, and what we want to do is activate our Minecraft server, and that's basically you know, enabling or signing the EULA, the user agreement, you know, license agreement or whatever. So let's go down and start off by running the server for the first time, and that will generate a lot of the files. And I already had a command just to make it quick, but I'll walk you guys through it. But as you can see, you basically run Java, and then there is a minimum of the RAM, and then there's a maximum of the RAM, and you want to put both of those 1 gig. So 1024 megabytes, 1024 megabytes, dash jar, JAR, and then the actual jar file, and then no GUI, because this is a server, there is no GUI. So you want to make sure you run it with no GUI, unless you're doing this on like Ubuntu desktop edition, which you're more than welcome to do the exact same thing or follow the exact same steps on the Ubuntu, you know, desktop. You know what I'm saying? It'll work pretty much the same. So just go down and press enter. Boom, it'll go through and it'll start the server. It basically generate all the files for us, and it'll fail. It'll basically says you need to agree to the EULA. So in order to run the server, you have to do that. Now let's go down and ls this directory again, and as you can see, we got multiple files that have generated. So we got the EULA file, that's where we're going to go accept the EULA. We got libraries, logs, server properties, which is where you manage the properties of the server, and that's for like the worlds and all that stuff, and I'll go through a lot of that in a second. But essentially, let's go down and go into our EULA. So let's type nano and then EULA.txt. Boom, go in there. All you have to do is go to the end of the file, change the false to true, and then save this. Boom, you good to go. And now let me go down and show you guys the server properties, because this is where you want to go down and set up your server. And like I said, it's multiple things in here. Like for instance, the difficulty. There are multiple levels of the difficulty. I think it's easy, it's peaceful. It's like 4 different, difficulties. But there are other options in here, like and you can check a lot of these out, but the game mode, that's important. So some kids, they may not want to go into the survivor mode. They want to go into the creative mode, because they just want to build and they don't want to have to worry about zombies attacking them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. So you can modify the game as you see fit. You can turn off PvP. So like if you got multiple people on the server, you want to set it to where other users on the server can't kill you. You know what I'm saying? So you can change that. And it's, like I said, it's a whole bunch of other little options you can go in here and change. But I'm not going to change any of them. I just want to at least show it to you guys so you can see this is how you do it. But let's go down and exit out. But we're good to go now. Now we can start up our server for real. Once you make your changes to that server properties file, we can run this basically the same command again, but you want to use the settings that you want to set for the server. And actually, this is where screen comes in. So actually, let me back up a little bit. I have to show you guys screen. So one of the first things you want to do is open up a screen, and what screen does is basically multiple terminals or TTYs. And you can detach TTYs, meaning, so you can open up a terminal and you can leave that terminal open running, I don't know, a command or something like that. I use screen a lot when I'm doing like syncs, or I'm moving data between one server to another, because I still need to use the terminal for something. I can open up a screen, run whatever I'm running, and let that run in the background. I can detach from it, go back to the main terminal, and do whatever I want to do. So else on the server, you know what I'm saying? So let's open up screen, and basically what it's gonna do is gonna open up another TTY. So this is a separate TTY. It's totally separate from the one we were just in. And now let's go down and run that Java command again. I gotta copy it, so let's actually just copy what I got written out to run the server. So, and then I'll walk you guys through what I did. But same thing, Java, the minimum memory amount, then the maximum memory amount. And like I said a few seconds ago, you want to make sure you set this based on your hardware. Right now, this server, nothing is running on this server other than OpenSSH and this Minecraft server, so I can give it 4 gigs or so. So if you're using something like that, you know what I'm saying, and 4 gigs really is plenty. You don't really need that much unless you putting a whole bunch of mods on the server. But since you're just using a base Minecraft server, you don't have that those forge jars, or any of those custom jars that are out there with all the like extra stuff, then you don't have to worry about the RAM so much. And then no GUI at the end, the jar file, and then no GUI at the end. So let's go and press enter, and this will start up our server, and it'll start it up at that port that we specified as well. So you'll see it start loading the world. That'll let you know that everything is working properly. Once you'll start seeing like preparing level world, and then once it says preparing spawn area, that means it's running. It's not 100% there, but it is building out the world. and so people can start joining. And I'll let you know when it finishes. It may take a little time because, like I said, this is running a virtual machine. I may have some other resources being used right now on some of my other servers, so it may take a little while because, as you can see, it's still on 0. But I'll be back in a second when this actually spawns all the way to the top 100%. All right, cool. So it didn't take long. Right after I hit pause on my record, it finished. So this is what you're looking for. It basically says done. So that lets you know that the server is 100% up and it's running at that port. So there are some options in here. I'm not gonna go through all these options. Your kid probably can figure it out better than you. My son knows these commands a whole lot better than me because he uses it all the time. But in order to get help, all you have to do is type help, and that basically tells you that right there. For help, type help. So there's a whole bunch of like little commands. You hit the / and then certain stuff, and then my terminal is tripping right now because of I was using my mouse. But anyway, these commands right here is what you need to understand how to use. So hit Q. That'll actually quit. Hold on, let's see, quit. But anyway, the server is running. I'm not gonna go through this because it's kind of hard to figure it out. You can ban people. It's so much stuff you could do in here. You could ban IP addresses, all that stuff. But let me show you guys how to get out of screen. So like I said, this is running in screen. The way you detach from a screen is simply by hitting the Control key and A and then D, and that'll get you out of that terminal, that screen terminal or TTY that's running. And as you can see, it's showing you what the name of that screen is as it being detached. So that server is still running, you know what I'm saying, or that command is still running under that screen. And this is kind of how you want to run your server. You just have to, the only bad part or the only downfall to this is you have to start the server every time you like reboot. Now that you could probably write a script or something that'll, you can set up to start that drawer file, or you could probably add it, create a cron job that calls a script that runs this. You know what I'm saying? It's not difficult. There's multiple ways to, run this every single time you reboot the system. It's not that difficult. But let me show you guys how to get back into it if I need to. So there are two ways. Since we only have one TTY or one detached terminal, you can just basically run screen -r, boom, and that'll reattach. So let's deattach from it again. So it's still running. I detach from it again, and there's an option. You can type screen -list, I believe that's it, and press enter, and that'll show you all the detached screens. And another way, let's say it's more than one, if you type the screen or up here, like up here, it's not going to know which one you're trying to connect to. You know what I'm saying? So this is a auto-generated number that distinguishes each TTY or each screen, from one another, and you want to use that to log into it. So all you gotta do is type screen -or and then that number at the beginning. You don't have to type out the full thing. You can just type out this number. This is what's going to be different right here, the 5275. So 5275, press enter, and that'll get us back there as well. That's if you have more than one screen open. You know what I'm saying? So you're good to go. All right, so before we connect to the server, I need to show you guys how to get the IP address, and it takes another command, which is very simple to use. It's basically the IP command. So all you have to do is type IP and then space A and press enter. That'll get you the IP address. And what you want to look for is the connection that you have, the main interface that you're using. The first one is the loopback. This one is the main internet connection, so ENS18. Yours may say something different depending on your interface, but that's the main interface, and you'll see an IP address associated with it, IP version 4. And so my server is 192.168.10.132. all right, so let me switch over to my son's computer so I can show you guys how to connect to this. Alright, so I'm connected to my son's computer. As you can see, we're using, Minecraft Java Edition. And this is the latest version of Minecraft 1.19.3. And so let me go down and show you guys how to connect to this server. And like I said, remember that IP address. Like I said a few minutes ago, you want to make sure you remember that IP address. So first thing you want to do is go to multiplayer, I believe, and then add server, and then this is where you type in that IP address where it says server address. You want to type that IP address in there, so it's 192.168.10.132, and then you also want to put the port number in there. That was the whole purpose of us opening up that port, and the port number is the 25565. So you put colon 25565, and like I said, this IP address will be different but depending on your system, and your network at the house. And then all you have to do is hit done, and then it'll try to connect to the server. So it'll start trying to connect to it, and then as long as your server is up and running, it should connect to it. So let's keep waiting for a couple seconds, and sometimes it takes a minute because of your network or whatever is basically trying to find it. And then once it connects, you'll see it kind of turn green, and all you have to do is hit join server, and that'll join you into that server that we created. And boom, there we go. So we're loaded into our world. It may be a little slow because I'm connected to my son's connected over the local network on my son's laptop. So he's connected to the server and I'm connected to his computer, recording his screen as he's going through. And yeah, it looks bad. I can tell it kind of looks bad. I'm running this through a meeting app, and he's sharing his screen with me so I can see it connected, but it'll look a whole lot better on your screen. You know what I'm saying? It's just the only way I can show you guys, because I don't have Minecraft installed on my system and I don't want to buy it for a video demonstration. But as you can see, we're good to go. Okay, cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That should get you started with setting up a Minecraft server in Ubuntu 22.04. And like I said, this can work on other Debian based systems. You can even install it on the desktop edition if you want to. Super simple process, not that difficult to do in order to get this thing up and running, and that way you can have a game server, so you can set up for your kids or for you and your friends to play with online. And you can also do this in the cloud. That's one other thing I left out of this. You can set up a cloud server on whatever cloud platform you want to, and you can run a server that way. I know it's like services out there that charge monthly fees or whatever in order to run a Minecraft server on their platform, but this is an easy way to do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? DIY. You can do it yourself. All you have to do is pay the server fees for the cloud platform that you're running it on. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not using it that much, then it could be a couple cents, you know what I'm saying? Or a couple dollars, a month to actually run one of these servers in the cloud. Now again, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and of course, keep it techie.